Hello folks, this is my flip through of a completed junk journal made for an Englishman, an English friend of mine. As you can see, it's covered in plastic because I got an old book that had been given to somebody as a prize 1 year in a public school and a private school in England, Queen Elizabeth School, Gainsborough. You can see that written around here. I covered in plastic in the ends because it was starting to crumble. You see, and it wouldn't have lasted too long for my friend if I hadn't covered it in plastic, you see. I put purple duct tape also on it, was neon pink duct tape. This is meant to be a leather bound book. I took the pages out of it. I still have the pages. They're nice gilt edged pages, and the book itself I got second hand out of a website called abebooks.com, and they are a second hand book website that covers the entire world. Every country has a listing on it. So I'll open it up. You can see here on the left the original marbled paper. It seems to be okay. This is a product here. I was sticking additional security. I sewed in the signatures. I have 2 signatures. This is the first signature, and I also put tape on to give a bit more security to it. So the very first thing that I put into it for this Englishman was a wee card, a photo of a place called Durdle Door. I think it's in Dorset in the south coast of England. So the first signature is random English things. So here's a car, an old car. I got these stickers. Sainsbury's really useful sticker book, it's called. Again, it was second hand. And again, I think I got it off AB Books. I think this is a postcard I got from Oxfam. I sent away for an Oxfam craft pack. So I'm going on here. This little card came from a book of cards. If you collected a certain amount of tokens of PG Tips tea, you got a wee card. You collected the cards and they were all in a wee book, and I took this one out of it. I also distressed it around, gave it round corners, and distressed it around the edge. Now all this space here is space for writing. Now paper underneath that is not so easy to write on, so I put this postcard about Elgar, the composer Elgar. And then here's another card. It's an old painting. So that's a rural and agricultural painting, because the fella that I have made the journal for works. He lectured in the Department of Agriculture in Queen's University, Belfast. He grew up in the Peak District of England. More nice cars. So the second signature, I wound up, just by coincidence, I wound up in the Peak District very recently, and I got a lot of photos. I took a lot of photos, and I also got a load of postcards. I was at a place called Chatsworth, which is an enormous old mansion, and it is owned by a family, and recently a film was made about one of the duchesses, this film called The Duchess. Now, it wasn't actually filmed at Chatsworth, because Chatsworth is still, this is the greenhouse at Chatsworth. Chatsworth is still owned by the same family, so of course they couldn't film this wee scandalous story there. So they filmed it at a nearby, that's Flying Horse. I think it moves. They can wind it up and it moves. That's at Chatsworth as well. So they couldn't film at Chatsworth, so they filmed at another place called Kedliston Hall, which is a National Trust property, which they can get permission to film. It's also quite large, not as big as Chatsworth, but it's still very grand. Now, this is where I stayed in the Peak District, and one of these wee cottages on the left. It's a place called Woolly's Yard. That's the name of it's a wee cul-de-sac. And you needed to have a small car. As if you'd had a big car to park outside the house, other cars couldn't get past. Anyway, this is the village, the main street, a place called Winster. That's where we stayed. Very small village, but they have this is Winster again. They have a village shop and post office, which is run by the villagers, and currently the post office is shut, except for very basic things like selling e-stamps. Apart from that, it's shut because it's looked after by an elderly lady, and she was having a hip replacement. So they didn't have many postcards in the village shop. So I went to other places too. Places like Bakewell, and I tried Bakewell pudding. There's a difference between pudding and tart. Bakewell pudding, Bakewell tart. Bakewell tart's quite well known, at least in the UK anyway. I don't know if it's made in the US. So, more pages here. A few more photos. That's a postcard. That's a postcard there of Chatsworth. The weather was very, very warm. I'm fair-skinned. The weather was extremely warm. Here's a painting from Chatsworth that looks like there's a fiddle on the wall, but actually the entire thing is a painting called Trump Lul, That's what you call that kind of thing. Tricks the eye. That's the French word. So there you go. That's the end of it. It didn't take me too long to explain most of it. Okay then. I hope you like it. I hope my friend likes it. He will get it shortly. Bye-bye.